Well, hello everyone, and welcome to the NFL Playoff Show. Can you believe we finally made it to the first week of the NFL playoffs? It is Super Wildcard Weekend, and I am really excited. I'm kind of a little bit sad because, with the start of the playoffs, that means the season is slowly coming to an end. But we've got to enjoy these next 13 games and see if we can do some more damage to these sports books before the season's over. We've got the Super Wildcard Weekend. We've got 5 games to choose from. We've got 2 on Saturday, 3 on Sunday, and 1 on Monday. So there's definitely plenty of options to choose from, plenty of sides to pick in these games, and let's get into it and see which ones I like for each one of these games coming up. So the first game on Saturday is the Las Vegas Raiders heading out to Cincinnati to take on the Bengals. The Bengals are 5.5-point favorites. I believe the total is 49 at most books. With this particular game, I'm kind of in a conflict because I have the Raiders at 100-1 to win the Super Bowl, and I have the Bengals at 50-1 to win the Super Bowl. So either team moving forward in the playoffs obviously gives one of those futures tickets more equity. But so I don't think I'm going to be picking a side. If I was to choose a side in this game, I would go with the Raiders simply because I do believe the pass rush for the Raiders could potentially give Joe Burrow some headaches with the bad offensive line play that they've had throughout the season. And if Derek Carr can continue to play the way he has and keeping his team in games, and then he seems to be very poised in the fourth quarter when their team is when they need him to make a play, he's been able to do it. And I just think that they might actually have an opportunity to pull off the upset in this game. The weather in Cincinnati does give me a bit of concern. I don't know how well they're going to play being a dome team from Vegas going out there and playing in what's going to be extremely cold temperatures in Cincinnati, but we're going to find that out. But I do think that the under is a good play in this game, the under 49. I do believe that the defenses in this game, I think both teams might come out slow with the Cincinnati Bengals having rested plenty of their starters in the last game of the season, and the Raiders having played the last game on Sunday evening, now having to play on the first day, Saturday, of the playoff schedule. I think this could cause both teams to come out a little sluggish, maybe take time. Both teams will probably play conservative, not really want to put themselves in bad situations, not going for it on fourth downs, punting the ball and playing defense. And, we've seen that the Raiders don't really give up explosive plays. And it looks like Cincinnati's defense should have most of their starters. And they're pretty good against the pass. And the Raiders aren't really an explosive offense to begin with. So the under 49, I think, is the right play in this game. So for that first game against Cincinnati and Las Vegas, my play is under 49. So the second game for Saturday is the New England Patriots getting 4 points, heading over to Buffalo to take on the Bills. This is the third matchup of these two division rivals this year, with each one of them winning at the other team's stadium. We obviously remember that Buffalo Bills game and the Buffalo-New England game in Buffalo, where they had those 50-mile-an-hour winds, and New England only threw the ball 3 times, and ran the ball for over 200 yards against Buffalo. It's going to be cold in Buffalo. It's going to be nearly 0 degrees. They're going to have some wind, but it's not going to be anything like it was in that first game in Buffalo. And I do think the Buffalo Bills are the right side in this game. I don't have any type of futures on either one of these teams, and I haven't made a bet on either one of these sides yet. The total is going down to 43. I think some of the value in that is probably gone by now. And if I was going to bet the total in this game, I would actually take the over, because what we have seen out of both of these defenses is that the secondaries do create turnovers, which could potentially give the offenses short fields for easy touchdowns. And we also know that New England has one of the best kick returners and one of the better special teams units in all of the NFL. And the Buffalo Bills are also very dangerous with their kick returner, McKenzie. So we could potentially see some really explosive plays coming out of special teams that could jump that total up real easy. You know, when you get those lightning strike type of touchdowns, they really lean heavily towards helping the over in these type of games. And with as much as the money that's been coming in on the under, I think they may have dropped this total down low enough where the over is now the play. So if I were going to bet a side in this second game, I would take the over 43 in New England versus Buffalo. So now the first game for Sunday is the Philadelphia Eagles heading down south to take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, defending champions. The weather in Tampa Bay is supposed to be crap. It's supposed to be raining and nasty. Central Florida type of weather I'm very familiar with having grown up there. It's going to be disgusting. It's going to be soggy, rainy, miserable. Everything that you have on your clothes, everything's going to be wet. It's going to be not fun. But it also lends itself to some potential for big plays, because what we see in these type of games where the footing can get a little crazy is that when it comes to like receivers in the passing game, they know where they're going. They know where they want to be, and they can take advantage of that on the defensive backs. And with this game, I do have a futures bet on the Philadelphia Eagles. I bet it around week 12 at 60-1, but I'm on the side of the Buccaneers, and I've actually placed a 5-unit bet on the Bucs -8 to win this game. When it comes to the playoffs, it's very similar to how it is in the regular season. If you pick the winner, about 85% of the time, you're going to be also picking the winner straight up. You'll be picking the winner against the spread. So I believe the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are just a much better team in this matchup. So I'm on that side, even though I do have a futures bet on the Eagles. I think the defense for the Buccaneers, they've gotten back a couple of their players. Shaquille Barrett and Levante David look like they're both going to be back for the Bucs heading into the playoffs. Those are huge, huge players to get back. Jason Pierre-Paul's going to play. Vita Vea and Ndamukong Suh are all going to be there, and we know that the Philadelphia Eagles, their bread and butter is running the ball. So you've got a team that is pretty good at running the ball. They're one of the best in the NFL, going up against one of the better run defenses. Now, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers secondary has dealt with some injuries, but that young secondary that they had last season in the playoffs is pretty much what they're going to have again this year, and I think they'll manage because of the fact that their defensive front seven is just so good. And when it comes to the Eagles, we have seen this Eagles team give Tom Brady fits when he was with the New England Patriots, but I think that Bruce Arians' offense will be able to exploit the weaknesses with this Philadelphia defense. And I just think that once the Bucs start to put points on the board and they make the game have to be won by Jalen Hurts, I just don't think he's going to be able to keep up with Tom Brady in this offense. I think Gronk's going to go off in this game. I think Mike Evans is going to go off in this game. And this is going to be one of those Tom Brady, everybody starts talking about they're on a roll, could they win it all type of games. So for that first game on Sunday, I'm rolling with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers -8. So the second game on Sunday is the San Francisco 49ers heading down to Jerry's World to take on the Dallas Cowboys. This is another one of those games where I have a futures bet on one of these teams. I have the San Francisco 49ers at 30-1 to win the Super Bowl. So I'm, once again, kind of in a spot where do I want to bet on Dallas and kind of hedge my future bet, or do I want to stick with the team that I actually think is going to win this game, which is the 49ers? I think what I'm going to do is probably just pass on this game all the way around. Though if I were going to bet a side, the line is now -3. It's moved down because so much money's come in on the 49ers. That's the thing that makes me nervous, is that every podcast that I've listened to, all the sports handicappers that I follow, people that I respect, people whose opinion that I believe is good, everyone's betting the 49ers. And at some point, you just have to ask yourself, is this too much groupthink? Is everybody seeing the same thing, which means it's probably not the right side? And that's where I'm stuck at with this, because Dallas could certainly just come in and win this game. And so could the 49ers. I mean, that's why this game is -3. It's basically a coin flip game. They're giving them the home field advantage, even though we've seen home field advantage isn't really worth that much in the NFL, especially in a place like Dallas where the weather isn't a factor. So I'm torn on this one. I'm going to let my futures bet ride on the 49ers, and I probably won't get involved in this game. The total is 51. If I were going to bet this, I would bet the under, because I do believe both teams are going to run the ball, and with them just running the ball, they're going to just wear down the clock. We've got two pretty good defenses, two good defensive fronts that can get after the quarterback. So I think if there was any play I was going to make on this game, I would take the under 51. But so much money's coming in on the over on this game that I haven't bet it yet, because I think the number could go up right before game time, and you could get a better number, if it gets up to 51.5, 52, and then bet the under. So for that game, for Dallas, San Francisco, my play will be the under. I'm just waiting until game time to potentially get a better number. So the last game for Sunday is the Arizona Cardinals heading out to Los Angeles to take on the Rams. Rams are -3 right now. This is another one of those games where I have futures bets on both teams. I have the Rams at 20-1 that I bet before the season started, and I have the Arizona Cardinals at 25-1 that I bet right after they had their losing streak. I believe I grabbed it when I thought that they could still have potential to make the playoffs. So I got futures on both of these teams, so I probably won't be betting a side in this game. And the total's sitting at, I believe, right at 49. So I think the total might be right on. If I were going to bet a side in this game, though, I would certainly take the Arizona Cardinals, just because I do think they have the potential to win this game. What we've seen them is that they're a pretty good team on the road. And we've seen the Rams, they're really inconsistent. Matthew Stafford struggled at times throughout the season. And the defense, they're susceptible to the run, and they can get bullied around. We've seen teams that that can run the ball, and their offensive line can move people out of the way, give this Los Angeles Rams defense some trouble. So now it just depends on if Matthew Stafford has a good game. The Rams could certainly win this game, and that's why I'm probably not going to take a side either way, and I'm just going to let the future tickets that I have ride out and see which one of those tickets moves on to the next round and which one of them, continues to gain equity. So for the Rams, Arizona, I would lean Arizona, but I have not placed a bet either way on the total or the side of this game. So for me at this point, it's a pass. If the total goes up anymore, if it gets to 50, I may bet the under. But at this point, at 49, I don't think I'm going to touch it. So for this game, I'm going to pass. And, again, just let my future tickets ride out. So the final game of the Super Wildcard Weekend is the Pittsburgh Steelers heading out to Kansas City to take on the Chiefs. Chiefs are -12.5. The total for this game is sitting somewhere between 46 to 46.5. This is a really interesting matchup of a team that I did not think was going to end up making the playoffs going into Week 18. Now, I have the Pittsburgh Steelers at 50-1 to win the Super Bowl, a bet that I made preseason. So I do have that kind of conflict in this game, but I've already placed a 5-unit bet on the Kansas City Chiefs minus 12.5. And this is just one of those games where it falls into that category of if you think that the team is going to win this game, then you have to also think they're going to cover the spread, because historically about 85 to 90% of the time in the playoffs, the team that wins the game also covers the spread. So I'm going with that. I also think Kansas City is just a much better team. I don't think Pittsburgh's offense is really going to be able to put up that many points. You certainly can't rely on Ben Roethlisberger to light up the scoreboard with the fact that he can't throw the ball more than 20 yards down the field. So I just think it's a bad spot for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think they were really fortunate to even make it into the playoffs. The fact that I have this futures bet that I thought was up for all intents and purposes was dead. Still having some equity just gives me that much more of a reason to bet the Kansas City side, because if they don't win the game, then the Pittsburgh Steelers Super Bowl ticket, still has equity. If I think Kansas City is going to win the game, then I obviously have to think they're also going to cover the spread. So I'm going with that narrative for this game, and that would be the bet that I'm going to make. The 46.5, the total. If I were going to bet this, I would probably bet the under, but there could also be a garbage time touchdown towards the end of this game, maybe a 31-17 that puts this total over that 46.5 mark. So if I were going to bet the total, I would bet the over, but my bet for this game is Kansas City minus 12.5. So those are the bets that I'm making for the Super Wildcard Weekend, the first week of the playoffs, the NFL playoffs. Can't wait for them to get here. I hope everybody's got plenty of money that they made off the season, and they're going to be putting it down on these games. If you've got any picks, any comments, any props you would like to talk about, any sides you want to talk about, be sure to leave a message in the comments below. Hit that like and subscribe button. I hope everybody out there is going to enjoy these last 13 games of the NFL season. Let's enjoy this football while we got it, and thanks for watching.